start to fold, and all the light is...
Being an alpha female in the music business is interesting because even more so than other industries, I think it's very male dominated. So if you're working with a band, you're likely working with a group of men. I do find that maybe I speak a little differently when I'm working with men, maybe a little more direct. I might even use a little more foul language, or like kind of a sailor speak, as I like to call it. I think for me, it's about trying to make them feel comfortable and feel like I am an able leader. There's a little toughness involved. I think I am pretty lucky that most of the men I work with, they try not to at least treat me different than they would any other band leader.
Well, I'm in real estate, and actually I feel that it's an industry that is very compatible to women to really shine. And how shall I say this? I feel like we actually have a natural advantage. Women usually are more in charge of the home, and men even seem to defer to us when it comes to the home. That seems, I don't know, it's kind of strange, but I feel like it's a natural field that we get to excel in.
I work in a couple different industries. One of the industries I work in is the movie theater business. The second industry I work in is film and stagehand work. Those are not the easiest industries for females whatsoever. Being an alpha female in those industries, working as a manager in a sew shop to get guys in the field what they need in order to make a movie theater what it is difficult. You're dealing with 100 men versus 5 women. And to do film and stagehand work, you are one of very few women in that field. It's always been a very male-dominated field because of accessibility and women's rights.
To do the right thing, to be looked at for that, to be a sage.
I think if alpha female became a term regularly used in society, I would want it to mean fearlessness, because that's pretty much what it takes, or at least being able to surpass your fear, to be able to say, these are my fears, but I'm gonna move beyond them and just make it happen.
My hopes for alpha female in the future is that women can be strong without being fearful of being perceived a certain way by anyone, by other women, by other men, because I feel both sides can be judgmental with archaic ideologies. And being an alpha female is an interesting concept because it really truly shows that you can be the best of the best, but it's regardless of what your gender is. That you know, regardless of female or male, in this case being female, that you can withstand any challenges and truly reach your goals.
Business is hard because no matter what, sometimes you can do all the right things and somebody will not be happy. And so that's the most difficult situation. But the biggest thought that always helps me be able to go to sleep and know I did my very best is just being authentic, doing the right thing. And when you do the right thing, that if there are great disappointments that you can't help for some people, because there's situations where someone's happy and someone's not, if you did the right thing, then you can go to bed.
I am the way I am because I did grow up mostly around men. My whole family is men. So being a woman in that kind of environment, you learn to toughen up and really deal with the situation of how do you find your place in a family of men who are men of industry, men of knowledge, and really put yourself out there and put your best foot forward and show them that you are just as strong as they are, and it's beyond that love for you. It's beyond the fact that you're their family. It's really truly that you're showing you are equal in a greater sense.
I think every woman is an alpha female in her own way, maybe not even in her career, but in her household or with her family. So I almost think it's kind of a funny term because it's just all women, because I think all women have strength in some way, and it's just where they choose to show it.
It's about time that I put my soul on paper and I'll go down singing rhymes. It's about time. Grab a globe, spin it round, close your eyes, put your finger down. It's there for the taking, the whole world could be ours if we stop and smell the flowers.
My mom, my dad, and my sister. My mom, all three of my grandmas, my sister, and you, and Aunt Nikki, basically all of them, except for Ellery, because she's just a baby.
You and Grandma are definitely some alpha females in my family that, I don't know, I wasn't really raised by men, because the only men in my life that were steady was one, and it was Uncle Dan. And so I was literally raised by women, and I think that's just a different way to look at things. I don't know, we never really had a guy around to like do all that stuff for us, the male stuff, so we all just kind of did it. You did it, I watched you do all that stuff, so it can't be that hard. A lot of single moms do it too, so it's just, I don't understand why men have to do it.
Our mom. She was very strong. She has overcome a bunch of adversity in her life, and she managed to still be happy and joyful even when you have to struggle sometimes.
My mother and my grandmothers, especially my maternal grandmother, was a very strong person. She was a farmer's wife, and yeah, she worked hard all her life.
A woman that is strong and fierce and a leader.
That women are strong and that they can show by example.
A strong person that can lead a group or a person to achieving a goal or something like that.
I just think personally, like, an alpha female is someone who can do almost a man's job but still looking good while doing it.
Izzy.
Who's Izzy?
She's my friend. Hermione from Harry Potter.
Yeah, why is she an alpha female?
Because she gets all her studies done and homework, and she cares about other people, and she's strong and confident with her work.
Well, my alpha female role models are like Emma Watson's one of them, because she's just a really well-educated woman, and she's just all about like human rights and equality and stuff like that, but also being really sophisticated about it and having manners and just, I don't know, being a really good person, I guess.
And one thing that we did in basketball was they thought that the girls couldn't run full court when they were playing, so they would only run half court because they obviously would get too tired running to the other end of the court. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, but now they don't even, that does, I think if anybody heard that, they'd think we're crazy. But
well, I don't think, as a kid, I wasn't really an alpha female. I wasn't the girl that was, I got good grades, but I wasn't like, I've got to be the best, I've got to be number one, you know, in charge all the time. I was just more easygoing, go with the flow. And that's kind of worn off. Now I like to be in charge, and I think you kind of grow in things as you age.
I personally think my generation and younger even is coming up more alpha female than housewife kind of woman who just wants to find a perfect man or whatever. We have a lot of young women coming up working really hard for what they want in sports and things like that.
I think there's more because since it's later on in the years, then there's more like girls that are able to be confident and at school and with all their work, and they're able to get things done.
I think one thing is, like they were saying, for medical school, there's more women enrolled in that now than there are men, and so that's a good example of how women are coming forward. And when I was growing up, it was mostly men being doctors and women were always the nurses. So
politicians especially now, I see a lot more women coming up trying to win political positions, because I think we're honestly sick of just having a man's decision and opinion in the courthouse.
I think there's a lot of opportunities, and I think, you know, we have a good community, and we need to teach them how to be strong and have confidence in themselves and be resourceful.
I feel like a leader.
I think it's time we start and smell the flowers.